Hello. Hi, Kimono. Could you let me know how the audio is? Can you hear me? Can you hear the game now that I've turned the game audio on? Big brain. Hello. Can hear you in the game? Perfect. Let's get back to it then. How are you doing? Hopefully all is well. What? I know I heard some people mention it before, but they were serious about that? Good, got a busy weekend of travel coming up. Ooh, have fun traveling. Hopefully it's not too stressful. I'm doing pretty good. I have a busy day today. We have family coming over for lunch and then someone else coming over for dinner, so gotta get in my stream time while I can. But yeah, it's fine. I'm sure I'll be okay. This world always has a lot of nice suggestions, but they're mostly out of politeness, right? They're just something you laugh off and reply with, "That would be nice." But those ideas generally end as jokes, so it's crazy when they turn real. Eat the guest instead and then stream forever. You know, I would, but there's too many of them. Too many. I have very small stomach size. I don't think I could. I cry. Hurrah! Hi Gray, how are you? Yeah, I'm serious. Uncle Yoshida was giving you a ton of praise too. He said it was amazing how well that pop-up pirate game went in the toy store yesterday.
I had no idea you could play the game like that. I should mention that some of the kids around my table wanted to play with you too. Keiichi's a genius when it comes to playing games.
You know, I wasn't just playing around. I was giving it my all because I had no choice but to win. Cooking a quiche, so you're doing it. Ooh. Hopefully that goes well. Don't let me distract you from cooking, okay? I guess we made it look like a lot of fun for the audience, though. What's Shion doing here? In the oven for like 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. I've never made a quiche before, but I'm glad. You definitely have a blast no matter what club activity you're doing, Ketchan. The coach was saying that the Hinamizawa fighters would be so happy if you joined the team. That's very true. Dr. Idia had nothing but great things to say about you at the meeting last night, Mayabara-kun.
You have the ability to bring people joy, and far more than you think you do.
You think so? This old man didn't mention your name just because you're his friend. He did it because he's confident you could do the job.
I was there at the meeting too, and no one was against the idea.
Mayabara-kun, you honestly do have a good reputation around the village. I heard good things about you in Okinomiya too. What you did in the match between the Hinamizawa fighters and the Okinomiya Titans was legendary.
It really was incredible. The reporters were there to see Kameda-san, but they were more impressed by you.
They're talking about that rigged baseball match I set up with Kameda-kun. The public did end up believing that the talented picture walked me out of fear for my insight. Kameda-kun and I have entered a strange relationship since then, but I'd really rather not talk about it right now.
What do you think, Keiichi-kun? I think you could do it. I'm backing you up too. I definitely think you should be in charge of the Watanagashi Planning Committee.
Watanagashi is an annual village festival held in June. It's supposed to be the biggest event in the village, and most of the people living here gather together for it. Since this is a major event, they always organize a committee to plan out the festival a few months in advance. The festival's only 2 weeks away, and I just moved to this village. But now they want me to join the committee? Look, first of all, I don't even know what you do in a committee. You don't need to be too concerned about it. The job we unanimously want you to fill is hosting the auction. There's an auction? What the hell is that? Do you want me to sell bananas or something? Well, let me explain. We're holding an auction event for the first time this year. We're going to auction off donated items just to see how it turns out. There's kind of a long story behind it. We wanted to do something in which everyone could participate, using donated items as prizes. But the elder members decided to distribute the prizes using something other than a lottery for their own reasons. To put it simply, our hag of a grandmother let her temper get to her and wouldn't back down after that. But she didn't really consider any specifics. Yep. Anyway, we had to come up with how to utilize those donated items. At that point, we thought of doing an auction.
Sounds like fun. You might be able to get something good for a really cheap price. It's fun to just watch the show, too. The items were all donated, so they were free, huh? That committee sure is good at making money. The profit will be going into the beer fund for the village committee's winter getaway trip. It's not fair.
Yo, beer fund? You're not ready for beer yet, Furude-san. I think I understand what's going on now. But still, I've never done anything like it before.
Sure you could do it, Keiichi-kun? I bet you do really well. They told you that you'd get to keep 10% of the profits.
Well, yeah. If I could gain something for producing results, then I'll do my best at it.
On the other hand, you might be facing a dreadful penalty game if you don't produce anything.
Wait a minute, Satoko. Why would I agree to a risky deal like that? Don't forget, they're the ones asking for my help. I'm a very busy guy, you know. Try asking my agent first. Alright, Ketchan. If you want some kind of compensation, we could talk about it. I really want you to be a part of this. We can make a deal. That sounds interesting. I wonder what I should ask for.
We're talking about punishments, but this is our first time talking about a reward. That's true. We're always fighting for something, huh?
Rena's right. The whole purpose of our club activities is to escape the punishments we come up with. Even if we win, we never get a prize or a reward for it.
Keiichi has no idea how to respond to something that sounds too good to be true. Maybe Mi-chan could come up with a good idea. It's hard to decide on what you want, isn't it?
Let me see. How about this? An admission ticket to Angel Mart's dessert fiesta. Don't be too cheap, sis. Why don't you give him 3 years worth of admission?
Hey, that sounds more like a deluxe reward to me.
I heard that some people pay lots of money for that ticket. Are you sure you can hook me up with 3 years worth of admission? Of course I can, but you have to do a good job.
I'm sure he will. With Keiichi-kun there, it's going to be heaps of fun.
I feel the same way. I'm really looking forward to the auction now.
Yeah, you could probably get people to line up for takoyaki that doesn't even contain octopus.
Hey, takoyaki without octopus? That's impossible. No, I'm pretty sure you could do it.
Yeah, he'd probably say it was a healthier kind of takoyaki.
Are you making fun of me or what? So what do you think, Mayabara-kun? I think you'll do a wonderful job. Chie-sensei was also on the committee. She must have backed up Mion's suggestion when she brought my name up at their last meeting.
I'd also love to see what kind of magic you can do. Nippa.
The good option always depends on how good a speaker the host is.
Sounds like it's going to be Keiichi Mayabara's big show. It'll be so much fun just to watch.
Hey, I haven't accepted the offer yet.
Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. You can do it.
You're saying that because you don't have to.
That's not true.
The principal suddenly opened his mouth. Maebara-kun. My opinion, you'll do a fine job. As a man, isn't it your responsibility to meet people's expectations? If I had to, I'm sure I could do it. Mion has made me do so many different things for the club, and I've learned a lot from that. Besides, this would be the first time I could get a reward without having to worry about punishment. Blue Badger. Did it work? It should have. In one moment. You heard it? Okay. Interesting. I can't hear it, but you guys can. It did work because I redeemed. Okay. As long as you guys can hear it, that's good. I wish I could hear it. It should be working. Oh well. But yeah, let me know if one of them doesn't work. It should be fun too. This was the first time so many people were counting on me like this. To be honest, it made me pretty happy. Still, I was worried about getting dragged into something that required a lot of work. I couldn't erase that thought from my mind. But I was in Hinamizawa. The people in this village would never do anything to betray me. About that, Keiichi. They genuinely believed that it would do a lot to liven up the festival if I became the host of their auction. I've only been here for a short period of time, but I know that the people here are honest and kind. Fine. As a man, I'm going to do it. I'll take care of it. Wait and see. I'll make it the greatest auction in the world. Don't forget to get me that Angel Mort pass. I'll make sure to do a good enough job that I'll deserve 10 years worth of tickets. Good for you, Kachan. Everyone gave me a round of applause. How many times had this happened in my life? Not once. This was the first time I'd ever been applauded. By the way, I'm surprised that no one disagreed with this suggestion at the meeting. There are lots of old people in the village committee. I'm a young guy who only just moved here. I've known for a while that Mion has a lot of influence locally, but I couldn't believe that everyone in the committee would just accept it like that. Most of them are that kind of hard-headed old people, but the new generation is gradually taking over, you know? We won the dam conflict, and now we're aiming to build a new era and grow more and more prosperous. That's why we value the involvement of young people and people from outside the village, too.
You're young, and you're from the city. You also have a good reputation, so you're the perfect guy for this.
I have a good reputation, huh? I have no idea why so many people have heard of me.
It's something to do with Michan's punishments, I think.
I knew it! Alright then. I'll call your parents about it tonight, so please let them know when you get back home today, okay? I'm sure my parents will have no problem with it. They won't have any objections to raise, at least. They might ask me why my name was brought up, though. Chie-sensei and the principal went back to the teacher's office after the discussion ended. We were in the middle of lunch break at the moment. Chie-sensei and the principal had come along together, and Mion scared me by saying that they all had something to talk to me about. My stomach wasn't digesting my lunch particularly well.
Maebara-san, I heard everything. Good for you. It's a big honor being chosen by the village committee.
Hey there, Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun. I'd love to give that honor to you.
No thank you. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
I realized the whole class was talking about me. They were saying how fun Watanagashi was going to be, and how high their expectations were for it. I might have taken on a huge responsibility. I needed to do my best to succeed at it. By the way, I forgot something. My granny made tons of ohagi. She told me to give them to my classmates. Mion clapped her hands as she remembered and took out a box from her bag. She opened the lid, letting us see a bunch of ohagi neatly packed inside.
Wow, there really are a lot. I think there might be enough for everyone in the class to have one. So yummy and cute.
For some reason, my granny loves making ohagi.
That's because Sohei used to love them.
Yeah, I heard my gramps used to like ohagi. He ate tons of them.
For your grandma, ohagi is something that makes her remember your late grandpa, huh?
You think so? I thought gramps liked canned food. You don't like canned food, do you, Shion?
What? Is that true? Why so?
Well, it's because of the smell. I just don't like the smell of metal. Why does she look so evil, though?
Oh, is that so? After always forcing me to eat my squash, it turns out that you too have something you can't eat.
To tell you the truth, she hates canned food because... Come on, sis. Don't you dare tell anyone. I don't know what's going on, but it seems Mion knows a secret about Shion. Tell it to us. Go on. The reason why Shion doesn't like canned food must have been something pretty funny. Canned food lore? Yes. Except I think we heard about it in the past. I think someone, I forget who it was, but someone told Shion that canned food was actually like canned human meat during the war or something. And now she's traumatized. The two sisters battled for a while. Yeah. The trauma. The machine gun knee kicks Mion launched from close quarters weren't bad, but I don't think she expected Shion to land a capture suplex off it. Guess Shion is the stronger of the two siblings. I'd rather tell you the truth than have you hear it from my sis. See, there's this bad guy named Kasai. He once told me, when I was still young and innocent, that there's sometimes human meat mixed in with canned food.
I heard of an urban legend like that before.
Me too. I once heard that there's dog meat mixed into beef bowls and worms inside burgers.
You quite serious? I can never eat beef bowls or burgers again after hearing something like that.
You see, Sadoko? It was a very traumatic thing for me.
You have my sympathy, but I still have yet to forget about how you made me eat a full-course squash meal. You need to let go of that one. That meal was delicious.
Because we're talking about this, I'm starting to get worried there might be something mixed into the ohagi too. Oh? Well, at least with the ohagi that I brought, you can't really be sure that there's nothing else inside. Ohagi that Mion brought. When you consider that, it's only natural to suspect that she probably did something to them. What's going on? It felt like I was forgetting something. But I didn't remember anything that I was forgetting. It was like one of those deja vu moments. I'd never been in this situation, but my mind was telling me that I'd been there before.
What's wrong, Keiichi?
Nothing. I just feel like Mion has given me ohagi before. But this is the first time, right?
Is it, Mi-chan?
I think this is the first time. You must be mistaking it for something else.
According to my memory, this is the first time Mion-san has brought ohagi to school.
Well, it certainly is the first time she brought it to school. Ah, I know. You're being cautious because these are from this old man, aren't you? That's nothing to brag about. I think you should be reflecting on your regular behavior. You're right. I wouldn't feel this way if Rena brought me ohagi. Rena's really good at cooking. They're small, but very carefully made.
Huh? I've never made ohagi before.
What? What was I saying? Why did I say that Rena had made ohagi before? Why would I know that Rena makes her ohagi small but neatly? I had no idea where that memory was coming from. I could only assume it was an error in my brain. Mion was saying that this was her first time bringing ohagi to class. As I tilted my head in confusion, everyone started reaching inside the box. Rena took one out for me and put it on the lid. I stared at it closely. What was I so concerned about? Mion said that I was probably concerned that she did something to the ohagi. But it wasn't quite that. MCU has nothing on the Higurashi universe, honestly? Facts. This is crazy. I really didn't know how to explain it. I felt like I was forgetting something important. I'd forgotten something important. And all I had was the obligation to remember it. In front of me was nothing but a single ohagi that came from Mion's house. I was frustrated. I really couldn't think of anything. There's no way I could remember it, because I didn't know anything.
Keiichi, you've been staring at your ohagi for a long time. What's the matter?
Oh, it's just... I'm experiencing deja vu. Don't you get it sometimes? It's your first time seeing something, but you feel like you've seen it before.
So, you feel like Mion has given you ohagi in the past?
I'm sure it's just my imagination. Mion just told me that she never brought ohagi to school before.
Keiichi, you can't have memories of what didn't happen. If you remember something, I'm sure it really happened before.
Rika-chan told me something strange. I didn't usually take her random comments seriously. But ever since I saw her making those predictions in the toy store, I've been curious about her special powers. I felt like she was telling me something deep. It's weird to hear that from you, since you're so great at making predictions. Are you talking about the cycle of reincarnation or something?
I don't know much about religion.
Omnipotent Rika, for real. Also, it's crazy that she just said she doesn't know much about religion, because she's literally the figurehead of it in Hinamizawa.
I just want to tell you that if you know about something, that's something that happened to you. I want you to try and remember what happened. I don't want you to treat it like you're just mistaken. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I guess. I was a little surprised by how serious she sounded. I always thought that Rika was just an innocent girl who fooled around all the time, saying things like meep and nipa. But all of a sudden, she seemed like a totally different girl. Was I supposed to take it as a joke? The serious look on her face told me that it wasn't the time for jokes, though. If that's what you're telling me, then I guess I got ohagi from Mion in a previous life.
I won't make fun of you, so please tell me everything. Why did me give you that ohagi?
The more I think about it, the more I think it's just my imagination. Maybe it was just a dream.
I don't care if it was a dream. You must remember something.
I would also be brain dead and act like I'm dumb if I was an all-knowing multi-universe being. No, I agree. She's coping really well despite being like, what, 10? 11? It's crazy. Well, I guess her mental age is much older, but still. What was up with her? She seemed so curious about it. I didn't think this story was that interesting. Her asking so much started making me feel uncomfortable. Still, something told me that I needed to talk to Rika-chan about everything I could. Maybe she could predict my future by reading my dreams. I should tell her everything. After all, she's the shrine maiden for Oyashiro-sama. Well, I think I skipped school that day. I had a cold or something. My memory was scattered all over my brain like powder. I could see myself standing in front of the door. Mion was there, and someone else was standing there too. I think it was Rena. Mion brought me ohagi so I would get better. I think she told me that her grandma made it, just like today.
And then?
Well, then I ate that ohagi after they went back home. Then I found something inside the ohagi. I'm sure I saw it in a comic book or something. It's mixed up in my memory, but I'm sure I read it somewhere in some comic book. Because it can't be true.
Kenichi, tell me what happened. What did you find inside the ohagi?
Well, I read this scary comic book when I was little. There was a sewing needle inside of somebody's burger. You remember what Shion was saying just now? It could be traumatic to hear a story like that when you're young. I didn't remember much about that comic. I think it was about this girl who had an accident and held a grudge against the person who caused the injury on her face. It was a really cheap plot now that I think about it. But since I was still a little kid, that comic really scared me. In one chapter, the girl casts a curse on the guy's food. He eats a burger with sewing needles inside it, and he goes all, yeah, something like that. It still freaked me out. The image was so grotesque and shocking to me. That grew into some kind of trauma, and for a while I searched for sewing needles in my food every time I ate something. I couldn't eat burgers for a while for that reason. But my parents got concerned and my hunger overcame the trauma. Eventually, that experience disappeared into the flow of time. I'm still a little worried about sewing needles every once in a while. I don't think about it all the time, of course. It'd be pretty rude if I poked at my food while eating lunch with you guys, wouldn't it? Of course I know that no one would actually put a sewing needle inside my food.
You're still a little scared?
Well, maybe I am somewhere inside my heart.
So, you saw a sewing needle inside the ohagi that Mii gave you? You saw a sewing needle inside of one?
Yeah, I did. Inside that ohagi, there was a needle, just as I feared. Why was I telling her about something that was just my imagination? Mion and Rena came to see me when I took a day off from school while I was sick. That never happened, so obviously my brain was just making it up. But I spoke to Rika-chan because she said she wouldn't make fun of me.
Are you afraid of this ohagi now? Do you feel like there might be a needle inside? Is that why you're not eating it?
I realized that Mion and Rena were also looking at me. They were wondering why I was staring at the ohagi without eating it. Oh, you don't like ohagi, Ketchan? If you don't have to eat it. Mion was assuming that I didn't like ohagi. She felt bad for forcing me to eat something I didn't like. In turn, I felt guilty seeing the sad expression on her face. Sis, he must be convinced that you put something in it. I immediately denied Shion's remark. No one else would understand what I'm saying. Even I didn't know. No, I know for sure that there's no sewing needle inside this ohagi. A sewing needle? Why would this old man put something like that in there? Of course you wouldn't. You're not the type to visit and bring something with you out of pure generosity. You might play a trick with Tabasco sauce or something, but you'd never put needles inside. You'd never do something as dangerous as that. I know you would never do such a thing. I grabbed the ohagi with my hand. As I brought it in front of my mouth, I felt the need to check it just in case. But I told myself clearly, "Hey, you wimp. When are you going to stop being scared of that stupid comic book? Mion brought these ohagi to treat everyone in the class. There's no way she'd put needles inside these." I forced that stupid memory out of my brain and munched on the ohagi. It's delicious. Of course it is. There wasn't a needle inside, was there? No way. I'm really sorry. I was just caught up in a traumatic experience I once had. Needle. That'd be really crazy if there was one. Right in front of everyone at school. My heart had stopped pounding and I felt relieved. The next moment, I got the urge to say something to Mion. It wasn't the right thing to say, but I just felt like I had to say it. "Hey, Mion, Huh? What is it? The ohagi was delicious. Huh? I'm glad I brought them then, even though they were really heavy. I didn't know why I wanted to tell her again that the ohagi was delicious. But I was glad that I said it to her. I was finally released from that odd feeling. Well then, since Kechan overcame his fears and ate the ohagi, you should eat this squash, Satoko-chan. It's so soft and sweet.
How could that lunchbox always be so full of squash? You're going to give me a traumatic experience. Shi-chan is trying so hard to stop Satoko-chan from hating squash.
She's so passionate about it. Maybe she sees her as her future little sister. By the time I finished eating my ohagi, we had returned to our usual fun lunchtime.
Keiichi, what if?
What if what?
What if you really do see a needle inside your food? What would you do?
That's not going to happen. Don't you threaten me, Rika-chan.
Keiichi, what if it really happens?
Rika-chan looked at me with a serious face as I joked around. What's gotten into her lately? Stop it. It's not going to happen, and I don't believe it will. I had just overcome my stupid trauma after all that. I know Rika's trying to get him to recall the past, but I would become so paranoid. She's definitely going about it in a way that makes her look really suspicious, and, like, I don't think it's gonna work. Because Keishi's just, like, getting more and more freaked out about her and her special powers, whatever they are. That's why I made that firm statement.
I understand, Keiichi. I'm sorry I'm asking you so much. If you see a needle inside your food, it's definitely some kind of mistake. Please don't ever believe that it's me's fault.
You're just trying to tell me not to be suspicious of Mion, right? Of course I won't. I would never be suspicious of my friends. I raised my fist in the air. Rika-chan finally looked happy. She smiled as if she was relieved by my words. The items donated for the auction were gathered at the Furude Shrine. There's so much stuff here. I expected to see towels and old furniture, but there's way more things than that.
Even see TVs and refrigerators. These are pretty new, too.
Impressed, huh? We got donations from the stores my family owns. Some of them were display products or leftovers that they can't sell, but they're still practically brand new. If you don't mind something a model behind, they're incredible, right?
Seeing how sun-bleached the brand new sticker on these appliances are makes me feel kind of sorry for them.
No, Satoko. That's actually a big selling point. Even if it's a little faded, people feel better using brand new tools than they do items someone else used.
Meep. Youngsters these days sure are picky. I don't really care whether it's new or not. All I care about is the price.
Rana-san, you seem interested in furniture. Are you thinking about living on your own or something?
Oh no. My dad and I were just talking about redecorating the house. Brand new furniture is expensive, so I've been checking out these recycled ones. You're changing the furniture? That's quite a big deal. Yup. My dad finally found a job recently. So we kind of want to make a fresh start out of it.
Oh, interesting. I wonder what happened to Rina. Is she dead in this world too? Sus.
Your father found a new job?
Rika-chan asked her. I was thinking the same thing. Did that mean Rena's father was unemployed until recently?
Yeah, he didn't work for a whole year after he broke up with my mom. I was so upset. I was always telling him to go get a job already.
Rena explained it with her usual smile, so it took me a moment to realize how serious it was. If what she said was true, her parents were divorced, and she wasn't living in a very good family environment. Rena talked about it like it was nothing.
Your mother and father broke up? Yeah, they got divorced in Ibaraki. That's why my dad and I came back to Hinamizawa. My dad couldn't get over the divorce for a long time, though. He was always just sleeping or daydreaming.
Divorces and breakups always wound deeper the more they love their partner. It's not really a bad thing that your father was hurting so much.
That's a romantic way to put it. Anyway, I eventually found out that he was spending a lot of money at the bar. I was shocked when I looked at our bank account.
Rena's mom is a famous designer. Their family used to make lots of money. So her father got lots of settlement money upon the divorce.
That's why he was able to pay...
For their? Rena? Okay.
That's why he was able to pay for their living expenses for a while. Perhaps that was why it took him so long to get back on track.
That's true. If he had no money, he would have had no choice but to work. He would have had no time to be depressed if he kept himself busy. It's tough leaving an ordinary pattern of life. It can really mess up people's cycles. I understand, because I was that way for a while after I left the academy.
Staying at home like a hermit is the worst thing you could do. You're exactly right, Rika-chan. That's why I had a talk with him. We talked about his responsibility as the head of the household and as a parent.
You always look like you're fooling around, or you're actually the most reliable person in this group. I'm impressed that you even spoke to your father like that.
It wasn't that big of a deal. I was shocked at first. I found out that my dad was spending his money on some lady. As his daughter, it really hurt to find that out. And then, what did you do? Well, it was no good to think about it on my own. I just kept thinking in a negative way. So I spoke to Mi-chan about it.
All I did was listen to her. Rena was the one who faced her problems and came to the conclusion of talking with her dad about them. I didn't give her any advice. But that was the important thing. Talking to people about your problems can calm you down a lot. Is that so? If she overcame it just by talking to Sis, maybe her problem wasn't that serious.
That's not true, Shi-chan. Before I spoke to Mi-chan, all I thought about was how to hurt that lady. But I realized that wasn't a good solution at all. Talking it out with him was the important thing.
That lady was going to, wreck your home, though, but okay.
So what happened after you spoke with him? Well, we concluded that he wasn't moving on because of the money. So we transferred the funds to a different account and I took charge of them. Now my dad has to get an allowance from me every month.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's as though you're the parent now.
Everyone else laughed along with Satoko. I wasn't sure if I should laugh, but I saw Rena laughing too. Anyway, the money was keeping her father from moving on. As soon as he remembered the value of money, he stopped going to that shady bar and got a job.
It really was perfect timing. He was getting ready to pay the down payment for the lady's apartment. That would have been a mess.
You talk about it like it's nothing, but it's a pretty serious story. Your family could have been ruined.
That's true. If I didn't talk to Mi-chan and kept on thinking about it on my own, I don't know where I would have been by now. I think I probably would have tried to kill that lady.
Everyone laughed at hearing such a dangerous thing come out of Rena's mouth. Rena laughed too. I saw something serious in her eyes. It was probably true that she once thought about murdering that lady. She seduced Rena's father so that she could get money out of him. Knowing how short-tempered I am, I might do the same if that happened to me. I think she made the right decision in talking to Mion instead of being irrational. I'm impressed. It's not that easy to talk about your family issues.
I know. It took me a while to make the decision to talk to Mi-chan. But that one dream changed everything.
Ooh.
A dream? Yup. Every night in bed, I'd think about my problems. So I was troubled even in my dreams. In my dream, I thought about what would happen to me if I didn't do anything. I don't know if what I saw was my imagination or a prediction of the future. In my dream, I saw that lady living with us in our home. My dad and I don't smoke, but there was an ashtray in the living room. The futon in our guest room was now hers. In the bathroom, there was a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. It was an unusual sight. That must have been very difficult and disgusting situation.
Satoko never told me, but I'd heard that she also lost her parents. I'd heard that she went through tough times when she was taken in by her aunt and uncle. Someone told me about that once. Satoko seemed to understand Rena's pain very well.
Yeah, it was a really disheartening situation. Eventually, I felt like I didn't belong there anymore. Then something urged me to kill her.
That sounds so realistic for a dream. What happened after that?
I realized I was a murderer. I didn't want anyone to find out about it, and I stopped trusting anyone. I spent all day at the place I buried her. I was afraid that if I left that place, someone would find out that I killed her.
That's a nightmare. I'm glad it was just a dream for you.
I don't know. I wonder if that was just a dream. I think I saw my future. That would have happened if I didn't do anything about the situation. I woke up the next morning shaking in fear. I even felt like I smelled her perfume at home. I wondered when that dream was going to come true. I was so afraid, and that pushed me to talk to Mi-chan.
I remember Rena coming up to me and telling me that she had a secret to tell me. I honestly thought she'd gotten a positive on a pregnancy test for a moment. I could talk about it like this now, but it was very serious then.
Mi-chan is a really dependable person. She listened to me and guided me through a solution. Eventually, we decided that I needed to talk with him face to face.
Perhaps it wasn't just a dream.
You're right. I think it was more than that.
Without that dream, it's possible that you never would have spoken to me on. That could have changed your life dramatically. A dream, huh? You've had dreams too, Shion? Huh? Shion had said something in a small voice. Only Mion picked up on what it was. I don't know what she said, but based on Mion's reaction, she must have said something serious. By the way, Shion usually went to school in Okinomiya. However, she'd been coming to the school in Hinamizawa lately. I didn't know why she chose to come this far, but she seemed to be having fun taking care of Satoko. I had no idea what brought Shion and Satoko together. Wait, weren't they on bad terms once? Huh? Is that true? Were they always that close, or not?
Now I know. It's important to talk to other people.
We'll have fun in a normal way. We'll laugh together in a normal way. And we'll fall in love in a normal way. We won't doubt each other. We'll trust each other.
Friends have a greater meaning than I thought. You could talk to them about anything. I finally came to realize that.
You're right. You resolved not only your family issue, but you also realized the importance of friendship.
anyone is troubled by something, I want to help. I really do. I want everyone to think that they can talk to me about their problems. Rena's saying something very important right now.
Rika-chan is right. We all nodded at her without joking around. A moment later, we heard someone locking the door. We were all surprised. That person didn't mean to lock the door. She must have locked it by accident, not knowing that it was already open. She turned the knob, thinking that it was now unlocked. Huh? Is anybody inside? The lady knocked on the door. I could hear several other people outside the door. Oh, sorry. Let me open it. Mion replied in a loud voice and walked toward the door. I heard her greeting ladies from the town council. Hey, will you guys lend a hand? What is it? I immediately saw why Mion called us over. The people from the village committee had brought another donation. It was an old cupboard. We all helped to carry it inside the room. As I walked through the door, I realized the Higurashi was starting to cry, taking over from the cicadas. I heard you're going to host the auction, Mayabara-kun. Everyone thinks you're the best man for that job. We're all looking forward to seeing your showmanship. Oh, I'll do my best, but please don't expect too much from me. Sure, you say. You're here today so you could come up with an idea of how to sell these items. They have every reason to expect great things from you. I'll make sure I'm at my best then. The other ladies smiled and told me they were looking forward to it. It hadn't been that long since I moved to this village. But even these people offered me a position of huge responsibility during the festival. So you could say that they've accepted me as a member of the village. I caused so much trouble where I lived before that I couldn't even go outside. But they're accepting me as a member of the village? I was so happy. I felt bad that I still hadn't learned all of their names. But I was going to do my best to entertain the villagers who were supporting me. What are you going to do now, Mion-chan? Are you staying here? No, we're going home now. Right, Ke-chan? Yup. I got a good idea of what we have here. I should be fine now. I'm not interested in Watanagashi, but I do still want to see this auction. Maybe I'll come to the festival too.
You absolutely must be there, Shion-san. It'll be great fun if we all hang out together.
I disagree. She lives in Okinomiya, so she should go to the festival there.
I think Shi-chan should come. I think Mi-chan will prove entertaining if she does. Since most of us want her to be here, it's decided that she is going to come.
You hear that, sis? You'll be in my shadow on the day of the festival. Let's at least be nice to each other. Ah, I hate you, Shion. I hate you, Shion. I hate you, Shion. Whatever Mion says, I know they're actually close. The more Mion tries to refuse her, the more it was obvious how close they really were.
Alright, let's go. Make sure you get everything. I'm turning off the light now.
We made sure that we didn't leave anything inside and left the room. I looked around the shrine grounds while Mion locked the door. This big place will be filled with people on the day of Watanagashi. These grounds are going to be the site of the festival. Man, I can't even imagine the crowd. I'm really looking forward to it.
There's going to be a lot of stalls and it'll be packed with people. You'll be surprised, I think. I wish they'd quit being stingy and hold something every season instead of once a year.
That reminds me, there is someone who visits every season. Huh? Who are you talking about? Oh, I know who you mean. It's that photographer I met the other day, isn't it? What was his name?
You know Tomitake, Keiichi?
That's right! It was Tomitake-san. I met him on my way back home. Brenna and Mion told me about him. Despite his burly frame, he's a fairly modest guy. He comes here every year to take pictures, right?
That's what he claims, at least. Oh!
Whenever I see him, I feel like Watanagashi is close by. And after Watanagashi, it's the beginning of summer.
It's true. But cicadas are already crying because it's gotten hot early this year. I heard on TV that this year is unusual. It's something to do with the thing called global warming.
I love a hot summer. It's not a proper summer if it's cool. Yeah, I agree. I like the different climates of the seasons. Cool summers and warm winters disappoint me. You've got to be as passionate as the hot summer too. How many of us are going to be at the festival? It's going to be a battle of the 6 evils.
Once again, we'll have a great Watanagashi this year. I agree. I hope we have lots of fun.
Hey Rena, don't you know? When Rika-chan says something like that, it's not just what she hopes for. It's a prediction. If Rika-chan is telling us that it's going to be great, it really is going to be great. That's our fate. Right, Rika-chan?
Yes, it's our fate.
Rika-chan smiled with a nippa. Her smile assured me that the day of Watanagashi was going to be a great one for us. The auction won't be starting right away, will it? Nah, it's going to be right before the ritual dance, so we'll have plenty of time to hang out together.
Indeed. It's your first festival. You deserve to have fun.
After Ketchan's auction, we get to see Rika-chama's ritual dance? Sounds good to me.
That means I don't get to see Keiichi the whole time. I have to stand by for the dance.
You're going to be in the show too, Rika-chan? What's the dance all about? Are you going to do something traditional because you're the Shrine Maiden?
There's a dance and ceremony for paying respect to the cotton inside of the futon. You should root for Rika-chan too, Keiichi-kun. You see? When Rika-chan dances in her Shrine Maiden outfit, it's just so cute. I'm taking her home with me.
I've never seen a real Shrine Maiden before. I'm sure Rika-chan really will look adorable. I was looking more and more forward to the Watanagashi festival. Rena, Mion, Shion, Satoko, Rika-chan, and I. The 6 of us will definitely have a great time here. How many more days did we have? I'd never been this excited about a festival in my life. But poor Tomitake. He will once again meet his demise.
Satoko's snoring sounded so subtle while I stood by the window. Satoko. I could tell that she was sound asleep.
She snores so cutely.
Hanyu laughs and tries to poke Satoko's nose. I looked up at the sky. Nothing was different about the moon, but the moonlight seemed warmer than usual to me.
Rika, you seem to be in a good mood.
Yes, I think I am. I realized it only after Hanyu pointed it out. I really was in a very good mood. Otherwise, I wouldn't be enjoying the view of the sky on a human night like this. It felt like bringing a toast to the moon. As I rooted around the back of the closet, Hanyu spoke to me, sounding noticeably upset.
Hanyu, she's so cute! Rika, don't you even think about drinking?
I deserve it. Just tonight. Hanyu doesn't like alcohol. If I drink, Hanyu will also taste it, so she always complains when I try to drink. That's why I usually only drink when Hanyu is far away from me. Of course, she'll know right away when I do, but it's too late by then.
No, you can't. You're too young to be drinking.
It's my body. I'm going to make my own decisions.
No, I hate alcohol. You can't drink.
I don't want to fight with you tonight. I'll dilute it with orange juice so you can handle the taste. Is that a deal?
That's not the point. I don't like the smell of alcohol. So you can't drink.
And you jumped around and complained. She was making a lot of noise right where Satoko was sleeping.
Rika taking shots? It might be more than a shot. I don't know.
Stop that. You're going to wake her up.
No, I'm not. Remember, you're the only one who can hear me.
Bleh. Just who do you think you are? I went to the refrigerator and took out a pack of orange juice and a spicy kimchi I typically use for her punishment. Ah. Let me ask you a question. Would you prefer if I ate the spicy kimchi to punish you? Or drink a sweet orange juice cocktail while enjoying this beautiful moon instead?
Why not both, Rika? Why not both?
Hanyu clenched her lips while jumping up and down, ready to burst into tears. She should be disciplined for being that noisy. But she never has been, since I'm the only one who can hear her. Besides, she's like air, so I can't even give her a spanking. Hanyu loves sweets, but she really hates spicy food.
Rika, would you stop jumping around?
Satoko woke up suddenly, and I had to hide my glass in a hurry. Satoko doesn't know about my drinking habit.
What time do you think it is? How are you hiding alcohol in your tiny little house, Rika?
She fell asleep again after speaking. See? She was bothered by you jumping around like that. You nighttime nuisance. Just like I'm the only one who can see her, I'm usually the only person who can hear the noise she makes. However, that's not the case all the time. Hanyu does exist in this world. Sometimes, people can actually hear and feel her existence. It doesn't happen too often, and most people think that they just heard some random noise. Based on my experience, people who are in critical condition like Satoko tend to hear her more often. When I say critical condition, I mean who have reached the L4 stage, as Idia would describe it. At that stage, there's nothing that can be done anymore. They'll feel the existence and hear the noise of someone they can't see. That would really mess with their mind. Hanyu stopped jumping up and down and gave up as I started pouring alcohol into my glass. I wasn't drinking because I wanted to be mean to Hanyu. In fact, I always wished she would enjoy it too. I poured only a little bit of wine inside the glass and diluted it with plenty of orange juice. In fact, this cocktail is pretty much just juice. I also put some crushed ice inside the glass. With that, it looked like a real cocktail they serve at a bar. See, Hanyu? It's very diluted. I licked the edge of the glass to see how she'd react.
I guess it's not that bad.
Good. I'll be drinking this tonight. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore, alright? Hanyu's been scared of that kimchi punishment for a while. As I put it back inside the refrigerator, she seemed relieved. I took the glass and headed back to the window. There was no breeze, but it seemed a little bit cooler. Hey, Hanyu. Do you feel that something is different this time?
Are you talking about Keiichi and Rena?
Shion, too. Everyone remembers a little bit about their past. They seem to be using those memories to avoid their fatal mistakes.
I don't think it would be that surprising if this was happening individually, but I find it very strange that it's happening to everyone all at once.
I know I often use board games as examples of fate. but I feel like this is the same lucky chance as rolling all 6s on 3 dice.
I think that's a good way to describe it in the sense that we're starting closest to your desired future. But I don't think this is the miracle that you've been waiting for.
I knew what she was trying to say. She was telling me not to expect too much. The dice is designed to have 6 sides. It's not a miracle if I roll it and get a 6. A true miracle is when I roll it once but get a 10, just like what happened with Keiichi in my previous life. In other words, a miracle is something that would normally never happen. Keiichi gave the doll to Mion. Rena spoke with her father, and Shion started taking care of Satoko after remembering her promise to Satoshi. That was all because they had those intentions somewhere in their hearts. It was only a side of their die that was engraved there already. But still, even if you couldn't call 3 dice rolling this well a miracle, it did mean good fortune.
I'm sure it was God's way of celebrating you finally feeling motivated to change your fate.
I thought you were one of the gods.
You only treat me like a god when you're trying to tease me.
I was just kidding. Don't get upset. Anyway, that's why I'm in such a good mood tonight. I lifted up the glass of orange wine and gave a toast to the moon.
Higurashi probability lesson. It's educational, guys.
It tasted like nothing but sweet orange juice. It was funny to see Hanyu making a happy face as I took a sip.
I wonder if I can escape the death of 1983 this time.
Our goal is to escape from this board, and I don't think we'll ever have such a fortunate start again. No matter how hard I tried to prevent things from happening, there were some things I could never control. It's such a huge letdown when that happens. Even after trying so hard, something renders my efforts infertile.
A bite of 83, no way. It's happening. The crossover of the century.
I'd probably been wasting my time for so long because I was trying to escape from that pain. For the first time in my life then, I've been blessed with a favorable situation. Everything seems perfect in this world. There's no reason for me to be depressed. It's like the weather is perfect and the wind is blowing in just the right way. If I failed to put my ship out to sea, there was nothing to pin the blame on. I understood what Hanyu was trying to say with the concerned look on her face. If I didn't escape my death under this fortunate situation, I'd have to accept that my fate wasn't something that could be changed. This is an ideal world where all of my friends overcame their problems. I was always in a depressing world, but this time all the pieces of the puzzle matched. If I couldn't change my fate in this world, then it was proof that I couldn't change it in any world. That was the ending that I've been afraid of for a long time.
I have no idea and I don't know what's going on, but I've been lurking and cooking. Oh, hi! Hi, LB, welcome! I'm glad you dropped by. What are you cooking? And we're on game... What is this? Game 7? Game 6? I think it's game 7 of Higurashi, so it's totally okay that you don't know what's going on. If you're interested, there's an anime series and a manga which I think condense everything down to like a couple chapters. I think the anime might be kind of long, but yeah, we are close to the end. Shrimp and crab gumbo. Ooh, I hope it turns out well. But yeah, thank you so much for lurking. I appreciate it. We're actually almost done with this chapter, and I think once the chapter's done, I'll get some art done, so.
Loss of hope and the death of my soul. Of the pair of us, I was probably the only one who would die. Hanyu will most likely remain there even if my spirit disappears. She must be afraid of being alone after I lose myself. That's why she's telling me not to expect too much.
Definitely at least be lurking the whole time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for dropping by with the chat too. It's good to see you.
Bit down on an ice chip inside of my mouth. It was pleasantly cold.
Speaking of lurking, my cat's been lurking this whole entire time. Kitty! Oh, say hello to them for me.
Hanyu, I know we've been over this many times, but I want you to think about me again.
Sure. You want to know why you're being murdered in 1983?
Yes. A strong will becomes fate. That means that the reason I get murdered this year is because of someone's strong will.
I think you're right.
Who will benefit from killing Rika Furude?
If that person has a strong will, there must be a clear motive for them doing so.
It might sound odd coming from me. I think most people like Rika Furude. I don't think any villager would have the motive to kill me.
The people who live in this village are all fond of you.
Thanks to you.
Oh.
I'm just showing you my appreciation. Anyway, we now know that the Sonozaki family is not the culprit. I have no idea who else would want to kill me.
You know, this village is supposed to be the safest place in the world for you.
You're right. It's supposed to be. There are plenty of people who would protect me here. It's ironic. For a long time, I've been refusing help from all those people who are trying to keep me safe.
Rika, I think we should rely on Irie.
People in this village love and cherish me. No matter what, they never saved me when I tried to escape the fate of my death. I spoke to several villagers in the past, but they never believed me, and none of them saved me in the end. They probably didn't believe me because I had no idea who was trying to kill me, or what their motive was. If I could explain that, people might be more accepting of my story. But there's nothing I can do about that. No one would believe a little girl saying that she's going to be killed without rhyme or reason. All they think of me as is the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama and the leader of the Furude family. They do cherish me, but they won't protect me with their lives. On the other hand, Irie and his people are totally different.
But I would not trust the nurse. We do not trust.
They realize how special I am, and they would try to make sure that nothing happens to me. If I confessed to them that my life was in danger, I'm sure they would do their best to prevent it. They all have the means to protect me from a violent end. However, none of it really worked in the past. It's not that they're unreliable. It's because Takano, the one responsible for protecting me, also gets killed on the same day every time. In other words, asking her for help is completely useless. She's very reliable, but she also isn't. It's ironic that I'm the only one who knows the reason why they can never save me.
Wait, so Takano's responsible for protecting Rika? But Takano's also the one that causes all this chaos. What? Takano L. Facts. She's not doing her job.
I wonder if that's the murderer's plan. Tomitake and Takano get killed because they're my guardians. And I get killed after that.
I think Takano's death is definitely related to your own.
If it's the same fate, I mean, if the same suspect is killing them for the same motive, I might be able to alter my own outcome by preventing their deaths.
I don't know if you remember, but we've tried that once before.
The deaths of Takano and Tomitake mean the loss of my protection. Because the two of them die, the suspect is able to kill me. That's why I've tried to prevent their deaths somehow. They never believed me. I tried so hard to persuade them, but they didn't listen. I eventually gave up and just thought of their deaths as fated to happen. It's the same hopeless feeling I used to have towards my parents when I was able to go back further in time. When I found out that death was inevitable, I lost interest in them. After all that time had passed, I forgot how hard I used to try to prevent my parents' deaths.
Besides, I thought you hated Idia and his people. Dang, she used to go back far if she could prevent her parents' deaths. That's like 2 years.
Yeah, they look at us as nothing but their guinea pigs. I support them so that I can help Sadoko, but it disgusts me to think that they're only using me as a test subject. I've been resenting Irie for that reason. Still, I should try to get closer to him. After all, he's the only person who understands how important I am. He's the main person I should be talking to, and he has the most potential for protecting me. I can't avoid seeking help from him just because I don't like him. I've asked him for help several times before, but Tomitake and Takano get murdered even so, and it ruins everything. After their deaths, Irie panics and becomes useless. That's why I gave up on seeking help from him. But in this world, I've been blessed with a positive situation. I'll never have as lucky a start as this again. This is the best chance I'll ever get, so I should give it my best shot. I really don't like him at all. But he's not a bad person. I should respect him more. He's serious about helping Sadoko, and he's not as much of a mad scientist as I'm inclined to think. Takano's a strange person too, but she's also someone who can give me support. But she thinks I'm only her guinea pig. That's why I don't really want her help. Tomitake is more reliable than Takano, but the biggest problem is that he only visits the village a few times a year. On top of that, he always dies before I get killed, so he can never help me. However, they really are the people I should be talking to. If I can change the fate of their deaths, they should be able to save me from my own. It's possible that the only reason I lived until 1983 was because of their effort.
Only got one shot. Don't miss your chance. Let's go. Preventing deaths be like.
I'm going to approach them once more and do what I can to try and save them. Oh, don't worry. I expect they'll be murdered anyways, so I'm not getting my hopes up.
Eminem. It's a song.
So I'll be fine even if this hope is betrayed.
Oh, you're such a cruel girl.
I chuckled at her comment. If they can escape their fated deaths, then I'm sure they'll greatly influence my own destiny as well. And this time, I'm going to try talking to them with the assumption they'll still be killed. In short, I'll talk to them about how I'll be protected from my coming danger after they die. If they issue such orders, then maybe the guard around me will be strengthened after they do. The protection they provide is probably the highest standard of security I could hope for. Yet I lose that the moment Tomitake and Takano die. So I never have their protection after Watanagashi.
Gremlin.
And therefore, I get killed too. In other words, that's it. Whoever possesses the strong will to kill me actually just wants me dead. Yet, so long as those two are alive, there's tight security all around Hinamizawa. That prevents the killer from getting to me. So, to kill me, they must first kill Tomitake and Takano, the heart of that security. Then my protection falls away, leaving me exposed. The more I reason it out, the more I realize their fates are connected to mine. Thinking from that point of view, my destiny becomes inescapable the moment I abandon them to die.
You should know what you have to do first, then.
Yes. I have to think about saving their lives before thinking about mine. It's kind of ironic. I gave up on them because I was more determined to save my own life. But I finally came to the conclusion that I have to help them first before helping myself. But there's something I still don't understand. Someone with convictions this strong is trying to kill me for some equally strong motive. Yet no matter how often I debate it, I can't think of anyone who'd benefit from my death. Not only that, but there should only be people who'd want to protect me. Especially since they would do anything to protect me in the present environment. They even eliminated my mother. To be perfectly honest, I don't even care about her anymore. I never got along with her, and she's the one who took my father's death the wrong way, making a huge deal out of it like she did. She got what she deserved. I'm a valuable guinea pig for them, and I can be a bomb too. No one benefits from making me explode. There's only disaster awaiting them if that happens. Lots of people will be lost, and nobody would gain anything from that. According to Takano, my death would be like the eruption of a volcano in the middle of the village. I'm not interested in what happens after my death, but they're really concerned about it. They're watching me every day to ensure that I don't accidentally hit my head on the corner of a block of tofu and die. It's fair to say that they're here in order to prevent the eruption from happening. I'd be suspicious of them if they were going to benefit in some way from my death. But as everyone knows, that can't possibly be the case. My death would create nothing but a disaster. They're benefiting from my being alive right now. Perhaps it's not about gain, but about a grudge. Maybe someone has a strong grudge against my family and kills me not knowing that I'm like a bomb to this village. That's why I was suspicious of the three families, especially the Sonozaki family. However, after observing them in numerous worlds, I feel like that's not the case.
Death by tofu, that would be something. It'd be kind of crazy. You'd have to have some serious skill to die by tofu.
I felt that way in several lives, but it always had something to do with that incident with Keiichi and the doll. It's clear that there's nothing going on between the Sonozaki family and mine.
In that case, it must be some religious fanatic.
If it's not about profit or a grudge, it might be someone who's secretly a deranged cultist. We've already had a series of murders 4 years in a row under the name of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Timing-wise, it would be interesting if I, the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, were killed on the 5th year. Couldn't stand to be murdered for such a whimsical reason. Such a motive actually seemed fitting. Ironically, I would have to suspect Takano if that's the case. She's well known for being an eccentric researcher of local histories. She's only interested in the village's history because she already knows who I am. She's doing the research based on the notion that I'm important, so she should have no reason to kill me.
She's kind of crazy. I feel like she would. And she might off herself just to make chaos happen, you know?
She would desire to keep me close to her as a research sample. It's hard to believe that she would kill her favorite toy. She might be willing to kill someone who would try to harm her little toy, though. I'll never find out no matter how hard I think. I just know that someone is definitely going to kill me. I don't care about anything else as long as I can escape that fate. No, I take that back. I want to escape my deadly fate. But I also want all of my friends to be happy. And I want the rest of my life to be happy too. I don't want to hide myself in the forest forever just to get away from my murderer. In fact, I've tried that once before, but I still met with the same ending. Living in the forest was a horrible experience. I think I was able to survive until July that time. That might be the longest I ever lived. I smiled bitterly and finished off the rest of the orange wine in the glass. I'd have to talk to Irie again. I don't like him, but his people are my only hope. It's getting late. I should go to sleep now.
I think so too. Good night.
I laid down and closed my eyes, but I couldn't fall asleep right away. Suddenly, I remembered Rena's words out of nowhere. It was no good when I was thinking about it on my own. I wasn't thinking about it on my own. I was talking it out with Hanyu. Now I know. It's important to talk to other people. Friends have greater meaning than I thought. You could talk to them about anything. I finally realized that. After I asked Takano for help, should I also talk to Keiichi? I've told him before in my previous lives, but he never believed me then.
It's time to spill the tea, Rika. It's time. The two of us. Rika Furude always thought that there were 4 members in her family. She can spill her wine fast. Not the tea, the wine. It's been aged. She could clearly see all of us. Her father, her mother, and me. She had no idea that I was invisible to anyone else but her. My appearance is a little different from human beings. I may otherwise look like a person, but I can't hide my horns. So it's obvious that I'm not human. I'd hoped that because Rika has seen me since she was a baby, she wouldn't be bothered by my ugly horns at all. No, Hanyu, they're so cute! And that hope came true. Just as chicks believe whatever they see first is their parent, Rika accepted me as a part of her family as a matter of course. Even though I have these horns. Rika and I have been close ever since the day she accepted me as her family member. I became closer to her than her parents. I couldn't even remember the last time I was able to communicate with someone. We spent all day together. But her family, especially her mother, denied my existence. Since her mother so strongly denied me, Rika and her mother became distant. Rika didn't learn certain things that many children learn from their mothers. That's why I taught her instead. It's kind of ironic how that made her mother resent Rika even more. Rika used to fight with her mother a lot about how she talked. I guess she picked up some bad habits from me. Besides the fact that she didn't get along with her mother, Rika was a pretty normal girl. She was just like Satoko. She loved running around in the woods, doing mischievous things. However, in June 1983, Rika's life was taken. All we want is a happy life for Rika. My power only allows us to search for the path leading to that. It's awful to repeat the same tragedy over and over again. Although it's devastating, we can still find happiness within this endless world. Rika Furude's destiny is a tragic dead end. But I'm secretly enjoying the fact that I get to spend more time with her than what normal people can enjoy. It's not just Rika. They may not see or hear me, but being with Satoko, Mion, Rena, and Keiichi is also very fun. I can never be one of them, but I can still be by their side. Okay, interesting. I don't really know how to feel about that, Hanyu, but you know, you do you. I'm giving my cat belly rubs now. I am content. Let's go. They deserve the belly rubs. Okay, we're gonna swap over to drawing now. I have maybe like 40 minutes before I have to get ready for guests. Clean the house. Yes, I'm gonna work on... I'll probably throw together a thumbnail first, for this VOD. And then after that, I will work on the collab. Okay. Let me grab that CG from this chapter. Rah, yes. CGs. It's really nice that this game has given me like a CG for every chapter we've read so far. So I don't have to think very hard when it comes to thumbnails. I did a thumbnail today and my friends helped me, but apparently I'm awful at thumbnails. Aww. What was it for? Easy thumbnails. That's what I'm saying. I love easy thumbnails. Don't rotate. No, stop rotating. Stop. It's for Slice and Dice game video. Ooh, I'll have to go check it out. Rotation is evil. Why is it rotating? Where's my Higurashi logo? Love that you have all this ready. You know, I've made many Higurashi thumbnails. If I didn't, I would have to suffer every time. I learned that the hard way. Because I think for the first couple, for the first couple VODs, I didn't have anything prepared. So every time I would have to like redo everything. Tiny brain. It's okay. We learn. Nerdies teach me your way for real, for real. It's called Grab a CG and it makes the thumbnail for you. I don't know what we'll do once Higurashi's done in the OG series. I know, it's crazy that it's almost over. There's a part of me that's like, I don't want it to end. But then another part of me is like, I want to know how it ends. Also, I'm realizing we don't have any BGM. So, let me go turn something on. Spin the game wheel! Yeah, that's true. We definitely can. Would like this playlist, please, YouTube. Work with me. Alright, let me know if you guys can hear that. This time only Fire Emblem and Dragon Quest are on it. We could definitely put them on. I don't know if they'll be the only things, though. I'll rig the vote. We have many options. I'm pro Dragon Quest. The music is instant nostalgia. We can definitely consider it. I do need to expand my gaming repertoire, you know? Because I only play the same things. Like that you had to post for these expressions. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little like awkward. But once you have them, you never have to do it again. So we take those. Until we get you to start Grimmy 2.0. Yeah, that's true, and then I'll have to redo all of these. I want to reveal the surprise event's better if I wait, but I'm horrible at keeping secret. What surprise? What surprise? Reveal! That's how I feel. What surprise? Yeah, can we have a hint? I desire crumbs. Yo! Yo! This is mean. I'm being left out. Okay. I did the base colors for this. I showed gray. Plus, I didn't want to mess up any colors. It's there. Gray can put a friendship art begins with secrets. I cry. Also, hi, Avery. I hear that, Yippee. I can hear the yippee. Why can't I hear anything else? It's messed up. Yippee! Where do I want the light to be coming from? Probably this way. My little sun. There. Light source. I'm attempting the fancy lighting again. We'll see if it works. I haven't done this in a hot minute, I'm gonna be real. Look who decided to finally show up. It's because Avery doesn't like Higurashi. Think you shade faster than I need to look. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like my shading speed heavily depends on what I'm doing. Like, this is just the base shading. So we'll see how long the actual shading takes after I'm done with this part. Go like sections at a time? Is that like not normal? Did I not color this? From nothing to completion? I mean, you know, if it works, right? That's what I like to think. Plugging my laptop in my computer. It's okay. I don't know if I'd be able to finish this before I have to end stream, so you've got time. Because I think after this stream, I'm probably not gonna draw for the rest of the day. Because we busy. I cry. If you finish in 40 minutes, I would cry. I would cry too, because that means I'm probably not trying very hard, and that would be messed up. think usually when I try blocking in my shadows like this, it takes at least 40 minutes for me to just block it in, and then I have to actually shade. When grading a jelly-filled donut, you know, I picked pink because it fits with the aesthetic, and also it can be implied as many different things. So, up for interpretation. I'm sure Gray had something in mind, but I was not told anything, so I went with my gut. Caption idea when you don't use a napkin. You know, I should have drawn my side with a napkin or something. He got into the glitter glue. Ooh, I could make it glittery. But after I finished and sent you my sketch, I was like, man, I should have been holding like something so that it matched. But alas, missed opportunity. Eating glitter glue with a fork is so civilized, that's crazy. It's fine. Not done the hands yet. That's fair, that's fair. Does that look right? Maybe. Mr. Beast. Me explaining an art collab to my parents as they walk into my room. Do they understand? To explain how he got the same colors. I see. My mom saw me working on this yesterday. Was it yesterday? When I was base coloring? But she knows what collabs are since we'd done it before, me and my sisters. I don't know how an art collab works either. I mean, there's lots of ways you could do it. For me and Gray, it's just we sketch, we trade, and we finish each other's drawing. In the simplest of terms. But you could also do like I've done 3-way collabs. I've done like I design something someone else colors it and vice versa. I've done what else have I done? Yeah. And assume someone's DS and go, please, 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 please. It's true. But yeah, I wouldn't say there's like a set rule to it. Do you give each other suggestions, or do you just say, okay, we do our collab, and then you just art each other? I mean, for this one, it was like we should art collab, and then we just sketch something and send it over. Hydrate. Okay, hydrate. Like, I think the only thing we really said was like, oh, which characters we're drawing, and then it was sketch and send. We went to like what degree of the body being shown. Yeah. I feel like I'm slowly disregarding my light source, but it happens. I'll make it work. My source is a suggestion for drama and nothing else. Facts. That's how I use it. It doesn't have to make sense, it's anime. Me gaslighting myself every day. Last thumbnail you did, I look like an Earthbound sprite. That was the, tiny pixel I did of you. That I just enlarged. Because I'm gonna be real, sometimes I don't feel motivated to work on thumbnails, but the VOD must go up. So I work with what I got, and that happened to be what I had. I respect people who draw every single one of their thumbnails. Could not be me. I'll draw for a thumbnail if it's like a one-off. Not? You bet I'm gonna be using them CGs. Need to make sure you have plenty of time for Pokemon art when that's needed. Yeah. Save my motivation for that. Yeah, I ever have to make a thumbnails in day, I give up. I mean, sometimes it's fun, you know? Like, sometimes I enjoy it, but most of the time I'm like, okay, this needs to be up on the channel. What do I do? Like, I had fun with my Doki Doki thumbnail. But that was just like one thumbnail. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't too much work. I think if you looked at the stuff on my channel, you could probably tell when I was feeling the thumbnail game and when I wasn't. It's kind of bad. It's okay. It's fair. Yeah, it happens, you know. I think I'm gonna leave these for the actual shading portion. It's too dark. Oop. Where's the hole? So I just have to do it by hand. Sad. The power of multiply layer, yeah. It do be that way sometimes. Also great. How much, like, or how many more goals do you need to meet for the VGen verification? Like, specifically, what do you have left? Yeah, because I was gonna see if I could potentially help out with anything. Technically need one more review from someone else, but that one's pending, so the only thing left is obtaining. Okay, so you do have the final review pending. This is in a month and so. Highly considering sending for my own money for a service just to be verified. That is valid, but don't worry, I got you. Okay? I got you. Just let me finish stream and I got you. As long as you've got that final final review, I can help you finish. Because I was looking at it, but I know you need like reviews from 3 different people, and I'd already given you a review, and I was like, no! But yeah, if that is not what you're waiting on, something can be done. The person paid, but they won't tell me what color to make the background. Ah, I see. Well, I hope they get back to you soon. hope so, because I'm doing other stuff for the- Oh, dang, nice. Did you ask them for their Discord? I found people are a lot more responsive when Discord is being used. Though time zones might also be an issue too. Yeah, using Discord. Okay, that's good. That's good at least. Send them a bunch of color options. They just went smiley face. I can't just. I mean, at that point, surely you could just decide for them, right? An infographic for their stream. I see, I see. I mean, I feel like you have good color sense, so surely if you just pick one. In theory, but the OG color I did, they went all like, oh, I see, I see. That, yeah, okay. Maybe just send them like 2 or 3 options then? Like narrow it down and be like, do you have a preference? Fighting bats right now in Earthbound. How's that going? Keep losing all sets and attacking me, but the zombies are the issue. I wish you luck. You got this. Beat them up. Struggles of working with non-artists. It's true. It's true. But also, I think it depends on the person, because I've had some, like, hyper-specific commissioners where they know exactly what they want, and if it's not exactly what they want it redone. And then there are some people that are like, you can do whatever you want. So it's interesting. They don't know how you want to... Oh, I see. Yeah, that's kind of hard. You just have to keep trying stuff. It's wild, yeah. I don't know if I have like a particular preference when it comes to stuff like that, because if they're hyper specific, right, then usually the approval process is a lot faster. You don't have to try too many things. But if they give you a lot of creative freedom, sometimes it's more fun. Makes sense for stuff like VTube because you're going to be using it as promo. Yeah, exactly. So you give certain amounts of edits for free and then charge after that. Facts. Gotta make it worth our time. That goes for anything, honestly. Goodbye, because he has to call me right during final season, so you AFK for 2 weeks. It happens. I think for me, usually it's like I either get your commission done within a week or I take a month. There's no in between. But I do try to keep them updated if I take forever, so I feel that, yeah. The motivation game is strong. Someone wanted a doodle icon, I got it done in an hour and they were shocked. We love fast delivery. I'm not burnt out from school, I will work fast. And you know, that's totally valid. School is a motivation killer. I used to be able to sit and draw for like 8 hours, no problem. And then after school, I was like, ooh, 15 minutes. I need a break. Made me weak. One of my profs told my class not to draw for 2 weeks after finals. Haha, no, that's crazy. Like, sorry, prof, there is work to be done. Bold of you to assume I have other interests besides sitting in my room drawing. Valid. I think, though, I've spent a lot more time gaming these past few months, but hey, it happens. Respect it. The grind is real. My day-to-day is art, Tomodachi life, and read webcomics. That's so valid. I've also been reading quite a bit as well, but for me, it kind of comes with the job. Does that mean I only read for work, though? Absolutely not. It just means I read for work and then I read for fun. Gotta be up to date on the weekly comics, exactly. Because if I stay up to date, then I don't have to read it for another week. It's saving time in the long run, I promise. PM like clockwork, I sit down and read my 6 daily webcomics. Nice. I respect it. Only cool kids hang out with friends and I'm not a cool kid. It happens. To be fair, I don't really hang out with friends either. Unless it's online, but does that count? Get rid of the light source guy now. Now, what color do I want this? A pink shadow? Orange shadow? Neon brown. Like that. Oh. Set. The green is, whoa. It is a choice, for sure. I'm definitely bumping down the saturation. The green is crazy. You like the blue is kinda nice. The pink is pretty good. Maybe the purple. Nickelodeon slime looking. True. What do you prefer, Gray? You like the pink, the purple, the blue, the brown, the yellow? I can also like change the saturation too, so. Try a bluish green. Kinda like that. Kinda hits for some reason? Alright. Let's go. Let's change this color slightly so I can see better. So used to making hypersaturated? That's fair. Totally valid. Cooling the lad down. Okay, now I'm gonna see better. Alright, and I think that's where we're gonna end it for today. I am 10 minutes over the time I told my mom I would be done. I probably need to help clean the house and stuff now. And I'm still in my pajamas, so I should get dressed. But thank you guys so much for coming. Hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!